float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. My name is Stephen with a V.
What's up? What's happening?
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of DMT Don't Miss This podcast. Oh no, it's DMT Reviews. Fuck me. I felt very good about that.
Did you just call me Mark?
Why did you call me that? My name is Stephen with a V.
That's right. That's right. Welcome to DMT Reviews.
You absolute donut. I saw an interview with Oscar Isaac. Yeah, we're reviewing Moon Knight, guys.
Boom.
We're giving you guys a whole ass week to watch Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We've already seen it. We have opinions.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And you're getting that review next week. You know,
Sammy B's fired up.
I wouldn't say I'm super fired up. I'd say it's like you said. It's like Age of Ultron. It's like you're only 80% charged rather than the full like 100% you get.
I want a movie of Sammy B versus Sam Raimi. You know, I want you two to do battle like Mark and Harrow. You know, fighting on a pyramid.
Okay.
Would you knee Sam Raimi in the face if he ran at you with Crocs filled with glass?
That'd be an interesting dilemma to put myself in, Jack.
Sam
It's like
Raimi.
Sam Raimi,
Sprinting at you with
director,
a scepter.
creator of the Evil Dead saga, you know, the Spider-Man trilogy, Darkman, Xena, the Warrior Princess.
Running at you head on from the top of a pyramid with a powerful
Is he as
weapon.
he is now, or is he back in his prime?
He
You know,
is
like
as he is
more
now, but
contemporary.
he's wearing the Ethan Hawke shoes.
But that you're making that the one stipulation.
And he has the scepter, yeah. And he has Ethan Hawke's hair.
Okay, but do I have Moon Knight powers?
Sure.
Do I have Bumblebee Man powers?
Yeah, you're the avatars.
Okay.
You're going at it.
Cool.
Yep.
I mean, then he'd be powerful enough that it'd be a fair fight rather than me just whooping on this old man.
Would you beat Sam Raimi up on a pyramid just in general?
If he was trying to kill people before they lived a life or committed a terrible act, if he tried to minority report people with this Amit staff.
We go to the pyramids of Giza. We're having a good time. We're riding camels. You know, we're seeing one of the wonders of the world. And then we look up, and for some reason, a bunch of people are on the pyramids. And Sam Raimi, the man, is up there heaving people off of the pyramid. Do you run up there and stop him?
Yeah. I think I do. If I have Moon Knight powers, I think I'm obligated to.
No, now you're just Sam.
Just by myself. Khonshu
Welcome
has
to the
abandoned
dance
me.
floor, boys.
Khonshu has abandoned me. Nice, you've nailed that.
Yeah, I'm getting better.
You've gotten great.
I'm remembering.
Remember. No, I'm not going to run up a pyramid if I don't have superpowers, Jack. Like, that is absurd of you to ask. That's like asking me to run up Red Rocks to save somebody's life. No,
Yeah, you
I'm not doing it.
You and Sam Raimi on the Monotoo Incline. Is that what it is? The Monotoo Incline?
I think so.
Something like that.
I don't fucking
The
know.
one in Colorado Springs. The one that I don't plan on climbing anytime soon.
Is that a very, very steep 14er?
Yeah, but it's just a bunch of, it's not even 14, it's just like a bunch of stairs that go straight upward. And everyone's like, you got to do it if you're in Colorado. I'm like, no, you don't.
It's reminding me of like Mesa Verde, but I know it's not that. But
It's just a hike of, it's like the climb to Shelob's Lair.
okay,
But like hiking trail stairs.
then I don't know. I don't even think I've even knew that existed.
It's real.
That would drive me nuts. It's just stair climbing to the max, and I'm
In
not
altitude.
into it. Yeah.
Anyway, to a place with no altitude.
Well, Jack,
Egypt.
let's talk about
Everything.
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 Moon Knight. This fantastic. I would say this might be my favorite Marvel show they put out so far.
Yeah, for like I loved WandaVision, and I still love WandaVision. I really do. I mean, I know Loki was out of the box, but Loki's kind of the popular pick. You know, Hawkeye and Falcon Winter Soldier were like kind of continuations
Honestly,
of the MCU.
that one I would say is the most underrated. That's
Hawkeye?
the one. No, not Hawkeye. The Falcon and Winter
Oh
Soldier.
yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. He kind of got lost in the shuffle
It
between WandaVision and Loki.
That's the thing, and I think if it came out around Hawkeye, it would have been a more smoother. It would have stayed more present in people's minds.
right.
You know, because for me,
The stakes are just
well, yeah, the stakes get
Comparatively.
like pulled back compared to the other two shows. Hawkeye's stakes, I think those go up because it's just a lot of intrigue and mystery involved.
And it's Hawkeye, so it's it's
rather
somebody
than
who's
like
been there
international espionage. It's a lot more ground level, you
Right.
know, and then you get the Kingpin showing up.
Well, we kind of think it's Hawkeye's last show. You know, Falcon Winter Soldier just getting set up for their whole arc going forward. You know,
Yeah.
Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I should say.
He's now Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Jack, get it the fuck right. Captain America is black. Deal with it.
I would say that, of all the shows, this one definitely it hit all the buttons for me. I definitely this show it was everything I didn't know I needed.
I love how fucking clickbaity headlines will grab me because it's like Marvel or the MCU is about to ruin Moon Knight in this last episode. I read it and they were just like, they think that stripping him of Khonshu and doing all this background stuff that late in the show was going to fuck up the finale.
Yeah.
As if there wouldn't be enough time to do a finale. And I was like, boy, couldn't you have been more wrong. I felt it was the exact perfect position to tell the backstory.
It's the only way to tell the story.
Because it's so engaging to have it be like, well, because like you said, when I kind of asked, half-heartedly knowing the answer, just like, do you think Steven's gone for good? And you were like, no, he's the main character of the show. I'm like, yeah, exactly. He's the way into it. It's like, sure, Mark had been the driver. Mark is the original, but Steven is the protagonist of this entire story. He goes on the hero's journey. He has to make these decisions, and he's thrown into it. He wakes up in the Alps and shit.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Well, that's the thing is like this show has a lot of interesting elements. It's a superhero show. Right, kind of like a Batman type superhero show, so it's a little more grounded. It's a little bit more gritty, right? And that's the thing is you could tell like Moon Knight as a character in the comics is more violent than most characters. So you wondered if Marvel was going to go there. So that was step one.
Let me tell you that for years now, Moon Knight has been compared as like the Batman of Marvel. It was like the discussion is between him and Black Panther as who's the Batman of the Marvel universe.
I'd say it's Tony Stark.
Yeah, and Tony Stark too. But it's just like he's out there.
Right, that's fair.
He's like a flamboyant gay man, while Batman's like a gay man in the closet who's like trying very hard to keep up a straight appearance.
That's fair.
That's Tony's like, I am Iron Man.
Biker grounds in the coffee grounds in the disposal.
Let's put a coffee grounds in the disposal. I don't have the sound drops. Ow! God damn it, Winston.
I'm running a bed and breakfast for a biker gun.
Breakfast for biker gun. It's plugged in. What the fuck?
Uh-oh.
I love technical difficulties on this. We're a scrappy old show here, man. That cord.
I love it.
Winston, if you step on my goddamn foot one more time, you're out.
Winston!
Thank you.
I love all the effort just for this one sound drop.
It's necessary.
Yeah, no, I get it.
God damn it! God damn it! God damn it!
He's like, I'll get around to it. Oh man, that's funny. Funny. Anyway, Moon Knight. So yeah,
how can we talk about Moon Knight at a time like this?
I don't know. Cause
Give me a break!
there it is.
Who's putting coffee grounds in the disposal? Am I running a bed and breakfast for biker gangs?
I was having so much fun.
Yeah, I know. You were there. You had a great point going. You were on fire. It's all right.
Continue.
So yeah, you've got this level of violence to the show that is, are they going to go there? And we'll get to that in a second. 2, this idea of Egyptian mythology, right? So we have Thor being our intro to the Norse. We know that a lot of the Eternals were in the Greek pantheon. / we know Zeus is going to be in the new Thor. So like that's all in play.
Which is, I need to understand how that works.
Yeah, I don't know.
If Athena is based off of Athena and Zeus is real, is there a real Athena?
Not sure.
I feel like they're going to really have a tough time undigging the hole that Eternals dug for them by hastily rushing out that movie that should have been at least 11 episodes, 1 per character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they get excited sometimes. They like an idea and they just you know?
Yeah. Or maybe they just panicked after Endgame and they were just like, I don't know. Because it really does feel like we were just talking about before we hit record with the movies. It's given me a real phase 2 kind of feeling where only a handful of movies knew where they were going. There's a couple that it's like, what?
Yeah.
That's what you did with it, huh?
Well, it's like we talked
you're going to
about.
release Black Widow after everyone in the world knows that she's dead.
Right. Yeah.
That's just going to be a cloud hanging over this fucking movie, you know? It's not a bad movie. If it was put out in the context of the MCU timeline and before she dies, like even if it was the movie right before Endgame, you know, that would have been fine. Actually, it might have made it more impactful that she dies.
Significantly more. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And it's like like we were talking about before the show. The shows seem to be so much better than the movies now. Now we've had a couple great ones, No Way Home, Shang-Chi, these seemingly again, and we'll get to this more.
Next week.
Exactly. Yeah. It's when too many hands get on a script, right?
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen.
And that happens way too much with movies because it's too much of a single product. With a show, it's nice because you've got, how are you going to keep track of 6 hours? Like, how are you going to keep like that fine tune unless you are like a network that has like a strict, this is how we make a show.
Right.
And if you don't do it our way, then you're not making it here, right? They don't have time for that, which is, I think, only benefited them. All 5 shows that we've seen out of Marvel Studios, like if they only released the shows and took like 3 more years to make the movies, I wouldn't be upset.
I wouldn't either because
I
they're
think
putting the shows out in a timely enough fashion. I mean, like this summer is gonna be crap full of Marvel, dude. Like, sorry guys, this is gonna basically become a Marvel podcast because that's what's gonna be happening.
Yeah,
I mean, like, sure,
trendy.
we'll be talking about shit like Jurassic Park Dominion or Jurassic World. Avatar 2, which by all evidence presented seems like it's gonna come out. It seems like it just might.
things have been shot, you know,
And
footage has been
you know
produced.
what? Unfortunately, not a lot of people are thrilled except for the fans of that movie. And I need to rewatch the first. I will give the first one a proper shot because I haven't seen it all the way through since 2009.
I need to rewatch it.
And I will watch it with the least cynical eyeballs I possibly can. That's my promise to you, Avatar fans. I will give you a chance.
There we go. It's going to be a great year. But the thing with the shows is that, like we talked about, it's 3 movies in 6 weeks, right?
Yes.
It's 6 hours of content on each character that goes so in depth. And that's what this show really knocked out of the park. The Egyptian aspects, of course, I'll talk to as we go. But the main thing that I think they recognize that is interesting about Moon Knight, they recognize all the most interesting things, which are the things that I didn't know about the character outside of like split personality and Egyptian background. Like they really honed in on those 2 things and made them the center of the story. And I think that led to a unique, interesting, complicated story that
it's complicated. All the
kept us
characters
guessing
are
every
complex.
week. Like, I don't think there weren't very many characters, too. There's actually just really, you know, Steven / Mark, Layla, Harrow, Khonshu.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, Ahmed as a presence, where edit shows up later, you know.
Yeah.
And other than that, and other than Harrow's henchmen, nobody
And
else
the
is
people
really...
that Mark worked with.
Right.
You know? Like, even his parents are, like, the smallest part of the show.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
So, and everything flowed so organically, and I loved it because the thing that was really cool was that he would just black out. He didn't know what Mark was up to. He didn't quite dial into that later, and being able to just be like everything's a time jump. Of course, he'd think it's a dream, especially if his bed setup didn't change.
Right.
Which makes me wonder that when he does turn into Mark, how does he get out of it? Does he do it like, you know, has his perfect way of getting out of there? Or does he just, like, have to reset it up? And he's like, God damn, Steven's such a fucking asshole,
I think
man.
that is what he does.
I think that's what he does,
because
too.
he recognizes everything Steven does.
Right.
Steven doesn't recognize him.
But when he wakes up and he starts running and gets snagged by it, he's just like, how do you sleep like this? But it's like, you sleep like this, dude.
Right.
You have to do this.
And do you think Mark is running out of bed with that? Or do you think he realizes that's there at that point? Like, whenever he wakes up. Well, I guess...
I think maybe he wakes up, takes off the thing, and then turns into Moon Knight and then jumps over the sand and gets out of there.
What's weird is that he says at the end, he's like, you live in this dump, right? As though he's never seen it.
Yeah, that's the part that I was like, huh?
Right. But also, one.
There's been several times where Steven just wakes up on the street. He's like, how did I get here?
Right. Yeah. Or like in his apartment, he wakes up again after
Yeah.
having been in Amsterdam or whatever. Like Mark had, unless Jake was the one going back to the bed every time or something.
But then you'd think Mark would be aware of Jake.
Right. Right. Well, I have my theories about Jake.
Because it seems like he's been looking through Steven's eyes a little bit.
I don't see.
Actually, I don't know.
So, yeah, let's just dive right into it. I
Yeah.
don't think Mark is aware of Jake because every time that
You know,
he kills people, he goes, Steven, was that you? And Steven's like, it wasn't me. So
he's like, you never forget a face. I know these ones,
and
but
I
not
think
these ones.
I think Jake is Steven's stress ball. So I think
Yeah.
that, and I was thinking like, okay, maybe because his mom, so Steven comes out to pretend like his mom doesn't beat him, but we don't see Steven go back to being Mark, right? But he doesn't remember his mom that way. So I think that's where Jake started, was then Steven would start getting beaten and turn into Jake.
Right.
And Jake
then-
became the violent, like, killing side. Maybe his mom spoke Spanish, and that's why he speaks Spanish. But
when they were in the asylum and they peek into that one room when there's that red screaming sarcophagus, I think that's Jake.
definitely.
It's gotta be Jake.
100%.
And who was it before Jake in the office? Was it Steven? Because he's just like, yeah. I think feel like $1 million, Doc. We must pay you a lot around here. It's not that scene where he picks up the pyramid. Does it cut to him as that in that scene, like where that scene starts, or does he start as Steven in that scene and then turn into him, and we're kind of supposed to think that it's Mark for a second?
Well, I think Jake only speaks Spanish. I think Jake. You don't think so?
No, because he's like a Brooklyn cab driver.
Right, in the comic.
But
But they changed Steven a ton.
was
the
that
show.
Spanish that he spoke at the end? I'm like, I could see it being Italian. Like he's like, yeah, I'm in the Italian mob, dude.
No, I think he says señorita, and I think it's Spanish because Oscar Isaac is Cuban. So I think it's he's Jewish and he's Hispanic. So I think
He's a Cuban?
he's a Cuban. Yes, and at least I think he is. That's what they're portraying him as. He's at least a Cuban man, and he's Jewish in the show. So it's some sort of blend. So that's at least my guess. I might be wrong, but I see what you're saying. But I wonder if they were doing that. I wonder if they were keeping. I think Jake is so dark and so secret that Khonshu is the only one that's aware of his existence. And now Layla, who saw him, kick the shit out of everybody and almost kill Harrow. But I think Jake is this. Yeah. I don't think they either of them. I think they're easily going back and forth between each other. But yeah, when they like really black out, like when it gets really stressful, I think we're supposed to be left completely in the dark about that till the end. But that was just my interpretation. I don't know.
Yeah, he says Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "Today's your turn to lose."
Right. Yeah. And that's the end of Harrow and Amit.
I love how he shoots him right at the front door and then drives off with him.
I know, yeah.
Instead of driving off with him somewhere. Yeah. Khonshu's like, nah, we're doing it right here, right now.
Yeah. I like Khonshu's new suit. I like him in the Mr. Knight suit.
In the Mr. Knight suit. It makes him a lot more comfortable for you because he's not bandaged up.
Well, he's not a giant mummy.
A giant mummy.
He's an enormous mummy who just like moves his body all over the place.
Well, I think it's funny too because it's like
Khonshu is squatting and jumping around and he is popping all over the place. Khonshu is a mobile mummy.
He is. He's a dead god.
Yeah.
But it's funny because dead gods are still alive.
He feels good, yeah.
Yeah, they're still alive. He felt like $1 million fighting Amit there at the end. It kind of bummed me out quite a bit that we didn't get to see the other avatars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him. I would like to see.
Makes me wonder with the shows that if that's budgetary and stuff like that,
Well, and then if you want to get into mythology, I'm like, where were Anubis and Osiris
in
the Duat?
Well, I mean, Osiris was kind of present. He was never there, but he had a presence in the show at least, which I liked. I liked how he was like the king of them all. Well, I mean, he is the king.
Was he the Butler? one?
Yeah, the one who did all the talking. Yeah, because
I was like Osiris. Because when they said Osiris, I kind of got mixed up with Ra.
right, which is easy to do. Yeah, because Ra didn't. I don't think they mentioned Ra. So I guess that's the thing with Egyptian mythology.
Who are in the other statue thing?
Who are the other gods that have been imprisoned?
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe that's where Anubis is.
That could be, right?
You know, maybe him and Almet just got too big for their britches, and they were like, no.
Yeah, could
Stop
be.
that.
Yeah, you guys are judging too many people.
Yeah, and then they just give it to Toadet.
So I'm interested in how Ammit got put into stone, and then so Alexander the Great was her avatar.
Which was cool. I did not know
Which was
that.
awesome. I like that detail a lot.
The way he said it, I'm like, well, that sounds like it's very authentic.
Right. Alexander the Great insisted upon being called Egyptian. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Well, that was the thing, because I'm like, yeah, him and
giant
Cleopatra were
sarcophagus.
just like,
Yeah.
up real. And he's like, I'm Egyptian, man.
Yeah. Even
I'm
though
fucking
Alexander
Egyptian.
the Great was, you want to talk about in the closet and yet straight up flamboyant. I mean, that guy apparently was banging all the dudes. But
I mean, I think that
that's the name of the game
back
back
in
then.
those
Yeah.
times, everybody had the best time.
Yeah.
Because they just fucked everything.
They did.
You know, they fucked what they liked.
Yeah.
They didn't make a big deal about it.
They liked holes and they liked living.
Yeah,
You know?
and they were just like, "Hey, you, me, suck and fuck, let's go." And then everybody was stoked.
Chris D'Elia's babies would have thrived there.
Exactly.
100%.
That's what he wants to have in the log cabin, man.
Exactly. Shout out. He's coming back. So, Alexander the Great being her avatar, well, okay, he died.
Yeah.
And they put Ammit in him.
Yeah, in his
So
throat, because
Ammit
he was the voice of Ammit.
It must have been like, because I saw a little thing that Jeremy Slater said that he wrote a scene for, I think, that episode 4 or something, where it was the avatar of Khonshu in ancient Egypt with Kingo and a couple maybe other Eternals fighting Alexander the Great and imprisoning Ammit. So
that would have been cool.
He was like, it would have been way too expensive, but I was like, oh, I know, but come on.
That would have actually been a nice touch.
Save Doctor Strange for 3 years and do that.
Yeah.
You know, there we go.
There we
Boom.
go. Boom.
Money well spent, you know? Anyway.
Or at least have that scene in Eternals.
Right.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool. That would, but again, maybe
Eternals should have been a series.
Maybe they'll learn their lesson. So maybe it was like they were fighting Alexander and Ammit was like, oh shit, they're going to get me. They're going to put me in stone. You save me. And then, how did he get her stone and not break it? Because the way to free the gods is just to break the stone.
That's actually a great
if he
question.
was buried with her.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just free her if he was her avatar? I don't know.
Maybe that was the thing that he put in his will to the gods. He's like, hey, can you stick her in me after I die?
I told her I would.
Like,
you know?
I love her. You just
I've
jam her down my throat.
I'm definitely thinking way too much about it, but
I mean, that is a good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd think they'd be like, all right, well, here's Ammit, and he would just Gronk spike that shit.
That's
like,
what I thought.
If breaking it open is all they had to do, because the gods had to put a lot of effort in chanting into putting him in there, but getting him out, no problem.
As soon as I saw Khonshu as the stone, and Ethan Hawke comes in and starts talking shit to him, right? I was like, oh, he's gonna break him and kill him. And I'm like, either or he won't, which means breaking it is the way to free him, which seems like a horrible prison. I mean, again, the gods bump the shelf.
Yeah.
You've got 15 angry gods.
We're in prison
free.
for God knows how long.
You just go boom,
Thousands of years.
like you bump bases and shit. You know, it's the same thing. They keep them very close to the edge.
I mean, the first episode is devoted to knocking shit off of shelves.
And that's the other thing I was thinking. I was like, so Khonshu is clearly a nuisance for these gods. Like he
Very
clearly is a problem for them. Yet he is free.
Right.
He's been banished. They don't like him.
They're just like you fuck off,
Right.
dude.
What did those other gods do? If it took them that long to get put in stone,
Yeah, to be just
you know?
fed up with Khonshu. Yeah. Because they were like, you've been wreaking havoc for a while now. We're not thrilled with it. And then he spins the sky back. And they're like, all right, that's it.
Right.
But that means, how far did the other gods push? How far did Ammit push with Alexander the Great? Like, I know that Alexander the Great was a warlord. He had a whole empire and everything.
yeah.
But is that all Amit driven? Was he like actually banishing the like bad people before anything happened, like killing all those people?
What's
Was
interesting-
the Roman Empire a goddamn utopia under his rule with Amit inside him?
What's interesting is Amit does say my last avatar was a balanced soul. So she said that Alexander the Great was like a perfect person. This time you're not.
This is a bold thing to say.
I know, yeah. Well, it's all. I don't know if it's supposed to lend a ton of context and be this interesting, but I find it to.
I find it to be very interesting as well.
I love this time in history.
It's the
and
coolest
this
thing.
pantheon. You know, it's incredible what they did, and I love that it was all Egyptian made. You know, because it was handled the right way.
Mohammed Diab came out and he was like, "We're doing this fucking right."
Layla, which is my
Calamoy.
Callaway, something. Incredible.
Calawammy.
Fantastic. Is Pakistan? No. Egyptian.
Yeah, she was just Egyptian, but she lives in, or she was born in Bahrain.
Right, there we go.
It's Egyptian, and I can't remember what else.
She's tremendous. And then you have awkward ass fucking Ethan Hawke as the bad guy, which was fantastic. Ethan Hawke is having a resurgence.
He is, and I'm here for it.
Him and Willem Dafoe, man, just running around in their underpants, howling to the
Egyptian
wolves.
Palestinian.
There it is. Yeah. Okay. Egyptian Palestinian.
It looks shockingly similar to Alia Shawkat from Arrested Development.
Yes.
And Search Party.
An alarming amount. So
maybe.
But, yeah. So I guess just before we like really dive into it, other things about the just whole situation of it all. Yeah, Khonshu would be annoying to have in your head. You know,
Jack,
how would you handle him?
I was going to ask you.
How would I handle Khonshu? That's the other thing I was going to say. So Khonshu kills people kind of like Amit does, right? He gets his avatars to kill bad people.
Yeah, bad people who've done bad things.
For sure. But like clearly it annoys the gods. Like they're like, stop doing that. You know,
Yeah.
like, we don't do this. We're here to observe. And then he keeps killing. They leave him.
What if he just like found a way to like convince them? He's just like, okay, can I like just paralyze them, please? Can I do like so much damage that they can't even function for the rest of their lives?
It'll help people. I'm telling you.
Like I'm telling you,
I
there's
do this.
No way.
I do this for the right reasons.
There's no way that this could get so bad.
And yet the thing that gets him.
Ooh, they changed the poster on IMDb. I like it.
Ooh, cool. Is it the one with like a bunch of? Yeah.
It's got like Mr. Knight and the Moon Knight.
Amit and Khonshu at the bottom. Nice.
Yes,
love it. But I like how Amit's hair is her tail too. That was pretty cool. I liked Amit a lot. We'll get into the designs and everything here in a second.
I like how the mummy thing is on the poster.
Yeah, I know, right?
As a character.
Those creepy ass things. But I like, the thing that gets Khonshu entombed in theory forever is playing with the night sky.
Yeah, his thing.
They're like, hey, stop it.
Why give him the ability in the first place?
Exactly. I know.
If he's not going to do that.
I know, exactly. They're like, hey, fuck you, dude. And
like, the gods essentially have just been like, hey, man, we just are here to hang out, all right? You don't do anything anymore. Stop.
Wait, you turned it back 5,000? God damn it. Put him in stone.
You fucking dick. It's gonna... I don't know what it's gonna do, but we don't like it. It was weird and people saw it.
The people are scared.
It was weird and people saw it. We're not cool with it. You're going in the stone.
Hey, Big Beak, get in here. You know, that's the other thing. His beak. I wonder what he was like when he was alive, because like Twiret and Amit are animal heads, right? So you would have to assume that Khonshu had like the ibis skull or whatever, or the ibis head, the head of a bird.
I need to see what an actual ibis looks like.
Did his beak move? He actually, honestly, looks more like a toucan.
He does, honestly. Like the thickness of the thing looks like a toucan.
He's a mummy toucan.
Yeah. Like the beak, this one is more...
Which did help. I mean, if he was just like a giant mummy man, I don't know if I could have watched this show. Like if his head was there, but the bird head made it totally worth it.
But you seem fine with the Moon Knight costume.
Yeah, I got over it pretty quick. It's awesome. It's so cool.
The coolness out trumps the fear factor for
100%. The first time I saw the trailer, I was chilled. Like the way it comes on is alarming for me. But then you see it and you're like, I'd take it. And then
punches the shit out of Jax.
And then I love when Steven comes in, because then he like helps, take the pressure off, you know, a little bit. The suit and the mask are fine. That's, you know, that's like Rorschach.
Well, it's it is kind of like a little bit of a Rorschach. He kind of looked like a white Deadpool, a fancy white Deadpool. But
very much so.
He was really good, and I like how he picked up his own fighting style.
Yep. Yeah.
That was one that got me in that final episode when he comes back to life. He's like, "Yeah, now I've got these new skill set." I'm like, "How'd you learn to fight? Like, is it because you're with Mark now?"
Yeah. That's that part when they're on the boat, and he's like, "You got this, Mark," which means if you got this, I got this too.
Yes.
And that's, I think, the moment that. Because it's his body, so like he would get it.
Maybe he fights like the Stephen Grant.
That, or it's just
that's his fighting style. It's Stephen Grant's fighting style.
Because really, I think all it is it's Mark, you know, who has it's a side of Mark who has completely built a different life and is British, right? Yeah. So I would think that he is at this point where him and Stephen are connected at this point. I think they still are their own personalities. But I think he recognizes himself. I mean, that's the whole thing about episode 5. That's why episode 5 is so good. He recognizes the Stephen within him, which is why it's so important to start with Stephen, right? Because if it's Mark, if it's like the comics where it's Mark, and then we find out he has a split personality, and we go through that, it's kind of weird, right? Like,
honestly,
it's like,
I think people would hate it.
It's like a thing.
I think people would hate it because they'd be like, ugh.
Yeah,
now we're not going to know this stress ball weirdo guy instead of being like
comes out of nowhere,
and you automatically fall in love with him.
Exactly.
You know, instead of having him added in. And then Mark, you're just kind of like, honestly, when Mark gets fully introduced, you're just kind of like, well, he's a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, Mark
I'm on Team Steven.
It's hard to be Mark, you know, like for himself. You could tell he hates himself.
Yeah, he's like, God damn it.
As he does.
I'm a real piece of work, aren't I?
Then we find out that he blames himself for killing his little brother. So, like, of course he feels that way, you know, and his mom didn't help him at all.
That was really a really hard sequence to get through, was watching a mom hate her son and blame him outright for that shit. And so clearly just be like, I loved your little brother more than you.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
Like, fucked up, man. That is harsh.
It's terrible.
But
that's real,
probably the most tragic origin story in the MCU to date.
Yeah, it's between him and Wanda, but Wanda for different reasons.
Wanda for different reasons.
Wanda for like losing everything and
losing everything all the time,
constantly. Yeah. Like people are so mad. Can't talk.
We're not talking about it.
Can't talk about it. But
well, I mean, all the way through WandaVision, she just loses everyone.
Yeah,
everyone,
and just reminded of it constantly. And so, yeah, I mean, like again, having Mark be almost the version of Khonshu that we meet in a way, right? Like, even though it is him, Mark is the person, right?
Yes.
Stephen is who he wants to be, who his best self is, even though he recognizes him to be kind of silly and weird, but that's, how can Stephen help it? Because he lives, 33% of a life, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's just, I can't believe Stephen hasn't figured it out, where it's like,
yeah,
man, I just like fall asleep for days randomly at like 2:30,
and I haven't gotten this checked out.
At 2:30, I'll just like drift backwards, and then I'm back on Tuesday. You know, like
he hasn't gone to a sleep specialist or anything.
No,
I mean.
And Steven's been around for decades.
And he lives in a country with like socialized medicine. It's not like he has to worry about insurance in that crappy ass flat, you know. So
true.
he can just go to the sleep specialist and be like, it seems like I sleepwalk. You know, I'm gonna sleep for days at a time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I wake up, I don't know where I am, and then they're like, well, that's alarming.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. Let's give you a sleep monitoring test. And then he turns into Mark, and they're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Well, let's get a psychologist in on this. And then Mark either has to kill a bunch of doctors to get out of there, or he has to confront the fact that he has a fucking dissociative personality.
Severe mental disorder. Yeah, like something that is fundamentally, changing his life.
Yeah.
And
this all stems from the fact that Stephen just won't get it checked out.
No,
He'd rather go and trauma dump on that gold statue guy who has to stay there positioned like that, and he gets tips for it, which I find that to be an outrageous art form. Well, I mean, it is an art form like mimery.
It's true.
So it's like,
How do your shoulders keep up, you know?
Yeah, man. And I mean, he's that old, and then you have to paint yourself every
day.
goddamn day.
Yeah. And get the paint off.
And get the paint off.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot.
And then you get people like goddamn Steven who just sit there and tell you about their day.
Yeah.
Here's my question for you, Jack. Is he saying later's gators or later skaters?
No, later's gators.
I don't know.
No, I know, because I saw it in subtitles.
Okay, good. Because I was like, that's what I thought it was. I'm like, wait, is he saying that or later skaters?
Nah.
Because I think people say that.
Later's gators.
Later's gators.
And then I think his mom says, after a while, crocodile, in the flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later's gators.
I'm going to start saying that more. Later's gators. Like, why don't I say that more?
Later's gators,
also,
dude.
Also,
that's your new sign off, Jack. Later's gators, dudes.
Later's gators. Yeah, there we go.
You want to do it British? Later's gators, dudes?
I can't rip it off. I'll do it. Later's gators.
No, that's your spin on it. You make it like, you make it true.
Later's gators.
I was thinking, just go surfer, dude. Later's gators, dudes.
Later's gators.
Later's gators, dudes.
What a foreshadow of Amit.
I know, right?
Yeah. I loved Amit. Everything about her was fantastic. She's my favorite ever. All the things, right? But it would have been damn cool to see the crocodile-headed, leopard-bodied, hippopotamus-legged creature of the actual Egyptian mythos.
Instead of it being just a goddess with a head, yeah.
That's Sobek, you know. That's Sobek.
It's Lady Sobek.
Yeah, exactly. Which is great.
Which is great. I mean,
and that's the thing, when her and Khonshu fought, I'm like, guys, this is what's in my head all the time.
Yeah, no, I was watching it, and the second that she came out, I texted you. I'm like, you're going to be too delighted. Because I got home from work at like 1, and I'm like, I'm watching Moon Knight right now. I need to see this.
Of course.
And the second she popped out, I'm like, Jack, you're going to be too delighted. And then when they started fighting, I'm like, well, I don't think I texted you, but I'm like, he might cry.
I did.
He might cry, because I got a little weepy, because I'm like, this is your vision come to life. This is probably how James Cameron felt watching either Jurassic Park or Star Wars, being like, this is a possibility for me.
Proof of concept.
This is proof of concept.
Exactly.
I could do it.
Yeah. No, it's
because
it's very cool. I loved. I mean, it's just them throwing each other around,
just
playing with
even
elements.
Inside the pyramid was perfect.
That was
I love
it.
it. And then they take it outside, man. They take that shit outside and kaiju,
which
throwing each other into pyramids.
Another funny thing: Amit eats all those souls and gets huge, and Khonshu just is big.
He just gets
like
big. He's
I don't
like,
even need him.
He's like, hey, let me just like dial it up.
Let me match you.
The moon's out. I'm growing.
In fairness, Amit
was it a full moon? Maybe that's why.
I think it was. Which, what a beautiful aesthetic fight. Everything aesthetically in this show was amazing.
I know.
Also, Amit kicked Khonshu's ass.
Big
time.
But he's an old dead god. But he put up a fight.
Her mistake was choosing the old guy as her avatar. You know?
Yeah,
that was
honestly.
her mistake.
Yeah.
I want to see Ethan Hawke, or I want to see Harrow in the armor, in the Khonshu Moon Knight.
Yeah,
armor.
man.
Yeah.
He didn't get one. Like, the only thing he got, like, power-wise, was the scepter turning into, like, an axe.
Yeah.
You know, like a sledge
Which was
axe.
cool.
Which was cool,
Very
but
cool.
also it's like...
I want it. I want that in story.
And honestly, when he blacked out into Jake and woke up, I thought that blade was in his head. The way it looked at that angle, I'm like, whoa, they're leaving that axe head into it. But no, he wasn't dead yet. No.
What if it was?
What if it was?
Well, then they couldn't tether Amit. That would have been a problem. Then they would have had to just sacrifice a civilian.
Right.
Imagine Mark and Layla just kidnapping a random person on the Cairo streets and taking them to the pyramids.
I know, right?
Why are you doing this? Hey, because I fucked up, okay? Because I messed up. I don't know what happened. There's an axe in his head. I don't know what to tell you.
I fucked up big time. We gotta put you in. We're putting Amit in you. And he's like, no, what Amit? Like the stories? Like
what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Also, that was a thing we've talked about several times for this show. That like, it's the hardest sell for me that with Thor existing, Black Panther even,
half
aliens,
the universe
half the universe snapping, you know, Eternals showing up, which are gods too in their own right.
The celestial coming out of the seas.
Celestial. There is a celestial sticking out. A dead celestial sticking out of the Indian Ocean at this very moment. But Mark talking to Khonshu, or Steven talking to Khonshu and believing that he fought or was chased by a jackal, and being Moon Knight and all this stuff.
Talking to a
is
hippo.
outrageous.
Yeah.
You're an insane. You're fucking loony. You're a donut. Get out of here, Mark. You're crazy. You're crazy. Wanda took over an entire town in New Jersey.
Yeah.
This is outrageous. Take a walk, sir. I mean, that was the
Egyptian
hardest.
gods?
Yeah, the Egyptian. Okay, Norse gods, sure.
Sure.
Jesus, probably. But the Egyptian gods, get out of my face. Yeah, right. That was the hardest sell for this entire show, was that
100%.
people treated Steven as a crazy person.
Here's my question. For a DMT.
Actually, you know what? I think they treated him that way, as in less that he's crazy, more that they would never pick you.
Wouldn't be.
They would never pick you.
No. Yeah. Of all the people,
You're not special enough to be wrapped up in this crazy shit,
Sam, here's the thing. Let's do this for the DMT donations to a charity.
Okay.
Here's what you do. You walk 5 miles
5 miles.
in Ethan Hawke's Smash Glass shoes.
Oh, in the
To the music with the cane, and you just walk around a track for 5 miles.
Yeah, with that goddamn
To that Bob
song.
Dylan song, yeah.
Or that Bob Dylan song, or the one that I played the other week with the Walking on Broken Glass.
Yeah.
I think that would be the
Those
perfect
two
one.
back to back.
I can't remember it, but also we got demonetized on YouTube for playing that song. But
What would you do?
Yeah, you're just walking around a track in a circle, a shitty fucking 5K or
for
5 miles. So
every-
that's 20 laps.
Every lap you do, we'll have people donate, They'll donate an X amount of
Just
money.
walking on broken glass.
You're like, ow!
Walking on broken glass.
Why was he compelled to do that? Because he didn't have Amit's voice in his head.
Yeah, so...
But also, how did he get the staff? How did he get the cane,
Well, wasn't he unbalanced?
Right. Yeah, he had an unbalanced
So maybe
soul.
he's doing it as some sort of punishment. Maybe he walks enough on broken glass and cuts his feet enough that it's enough
for what he's done.
self-punishment for what he
No,
may
totally,
do or
yeah.
what he's done as Moon Knight.
No, you're right.
And whatnot. Maybe that's what, but that's also stupid as fuck because that's repenting at the last second to get into heaven, or I'm being nice and that's going to get me some God points. It's like, no, being nice. No, you have to be about it.
That's right. No,
you have to truly be good.
Practice
Don't
what you
do
preach.
it. Yeah, exactly. Don't do follow the rules for being I'm going to get into heaven for it. It's
true, yeah.
But that's him.
Would
That's
you have
him
joined his cult? Do you think you're balanced? This is the face of a good man.
I don't know, dude. I don't know what I'm capable.
Nays. I guess that's ancient Egyptian. I don't know.
Yes, I don't fucking know. Because nobody knows what ancient Egyptian sounds like or what the language is. As this show accurately pointed out, it's not really an alphabet. It's more like emojis. And if you don't know ancient Egyptian, you just don't know. There's just stuff that they try and make connections with.
That's right.
That's the best they can do. We don't know.
Don't know.
Look at you reading up on your ancient Egyptian and all this shit. And he's just like, I'm into that shit.
7 Indian. There were 9. 9 of the Indian. There were, but they only showed 5.
Super group of Egyptian gods.
Super group of Egyptian gods. They showed Tefnut, Osiris, Isis, Horus, and Hathor. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. All are in the Indian.
Who are the remaining 4?
Well, I mean, again, there's so many versions of it.
I mean, there's so many iterations of the Avengers.
Well, I know.
It's
Egypt,
the Indian is the same way. They're the Avengers of Egyptian gods.
Egypt lasted 1,000 years. It went through all sorts of different cycles and shit. So they had the main ones. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like Ra/Amon, the main one, and then there is Shu and Tefnut, and they're Shu is air and Tefnut is water. And then they had Geb and Nut, and Geb is earth, and Nut is sky. And then they had Osiris, Isis, Nephthys, and Set. So there's boom, each of those. And Nephthys is Set's wife, and Isis is Osiris's wife.
Do you think he's going to fight Set?
And then Isis popped out Horus. So there's your 9.
Okay.
There's the 9 I know.
Do you think they're going to have to go up against Set? I bet Set's in one of those fucking statues. Set is
sure.
always that god that is just like, dude,
sure.
you're chaos.
Yeah,
you're the god of chaos. We cannot have chaos.
That's a genuine problem. Yeah. I couldn't believe they didn't use Set. I like that they used Amit.
Yeah.
They went outside the box. That was the one thing about not using Anubis and using Tuareg instead. It's like people got to know a new god, which I think is great. And they represented her really well. And she was super funny. Like when she was communicating to Layla, that was so funny. The way they did... The way they did the body control stuff, you know, like that all hit really, that hit for me for sure. That was all super great.
Yeah.
Like funny, like it's a mix because they do a great job with Egyptian mythology with gods having control of a body. Like they play that super well. They play split personality super well. They play cult super well. They like everything they tried to do in this. They did fantastic.
Yeah.
Which is why
And I think it's funny too. So like when the avatars all meet, you know, they're speaking through the avatars very fine, you know. So, but then when Mark and Layla are dealing with Khonshu and Tuareg speaking through them, it's like they have to vomit each time.
Yeah, exactly. They're so like exhausted. And
Arthur Harrow! Ah! He's just like,
What's the do you seek to release Amit from her tomb? Lots of fun. Lots
it's
of good
great.
stuff.
You had F. Murray Abraham providing the voice.
I mean,
I loved it.
So yeah, let's dig into each of us dealing with Khonshu as our
So
god.
yeah.
So I would say to Khonshu, like he said, same deal as Mark. You know, I got betrayed. I'm gonna die. He picks me. I'm a mercenary. No, let's keep it. I'm a podcaster. And I like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, save me. Yeah, sounds better than going to wherever you are, you know, that shit. So then he shows up and we start hanging out and going through the desert. And I'm just like, and he starts just like talking that shit. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. That's the thing about Khonshu is not only does he like push his agenda on you, he talks shit. You know what I mean? Like he's like,
well, it's like he's doing you a huge favor.
He's like, oh,
and
I
it's like,
saved you.
It's like, wait, you need me as a vessel.
More than anybody.
You know, shut up, asshole.
If I'm not here, you're stuck in that tomb, motherfucker. Okay, big mummy man. You know why you're a mummy? Because you're dead.
You'd be here doing the show. You'd be like, ugh, this is a waste of time. Why are you here? You talk about nothing. You just talk about shows.
Yeah,
Who talks about it?
Some people like that. Some people need this on their drives to work, when they're doing laundry, when they're freaking cooking and shit. Okay?
What people need is the fist of justice. You need to be out there stopping crime, Jack Anderson.
Yeah, I'll get to the crime shit.
Jack Anderson.
What
why
crime
are you
is
wasting
there
this
in
time?
Littleton, dude? What? I mean, like, yeah,
You
the average
imbecile.
amount.
You are a worm. You give nothing to life and society.
Yeah.
You're not funny.
Thanks, Mom. Okay. Heard it before.
And then I'm over here like, Jesus Christ, Jack. I don't think we can do this show anymore if Khonshu's going to be fucking your shit up every time. Like,
Listen, I can
it's a
deal with
one-sided
it.
conversation. I mean, like, if he could hook up to the Bluetooth.
Dude, it's worth it for this. And I have the suit, and you're like, wow.
But what would your suit look like?
I'd wear the mummy suit.
You'd wear the Mummy Moon Knight suit?
I feel like if I'm working with Khonshu, I have to, right? You know, it's part of the deal.
Yeah.
No,
like,
I'd be Mr. Knight. I'd summon the suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm Mr. Knight. You get the Moon Knight armor.
I get the Moon Knight armor. You're making me get the Moon Knight armor. Okay.
Hey, Sam. What if we found out that I am your Steven?
And this whole podcast has been me just switching sides.
Yeah.
And I'm just seeing just a figment of my imagination.
And I am too.
Yeah,
then-
we are each other's split personality.
But then when I like leave and go, you just and you're just Sam. You're living your life again. You think Jack has left, gone somewhere else, and then I come back for the next show.
That's why nobody ever sees us in the same place except for on here.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Crazy.
Well, it's because photo edits, but you know.
Yeah. No, Khonshu,
It's incredible what the technology can do.
Khonshu, I don't know. I feel like
Sam Butler, will you be my fist of vengeance? Will you protect the travelers of the night?
is the circumstance that I'm dying and I need his help.
Yes. Why else would I be talking to you?
I'm asking Jack.
Oh, well, Jack's dead. You know, Jack's fucking the archaeologist. I'm Layla's dad.
You're fucking the archaeologist?
Wow.
You're fucking Layla's dad, Jack?
What can I say?
Whoa.
Wow, I mean,
This is a DMT exclusive right here. Hey. Hey! Knock it off.
Winston!
Yeah.
Boom.
Cut it out, man.
Got him.
Get it together, pal.
Yes, you're dying.
So I'm dying. It's just like, I'll save your life.
Mm-hmm.
So get into Khonshu.
Will you be my moon knight?
Yeah, right, I guess.
Rise, rise again. Blah, 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 blah.
Yep, there we go.
Whoa, this is pretty cool.
And then
Whoa, I'm gonna live.
we got out of Egypt. You know, you're out and about. You're living life. You're working at the bar.
Okay. So I'm
And-
still just a bar
Yeah.
back as Moon
You're
Knight.
still just a bar back. Yep. And you're working hard. You're going at it. And some guy starts, fucking with one of the waitresses, as they do constantly, right? And you just hear,
Do it, Sam Butler. Do it. Avenge them.
Dude, this is just like a petty bar thing. Nothing wrong really happened. Like, do you really want to like blow our cover right now? Like, this will fuck up a lot of shit.
It would be really cool. There's nothing going on.
Cool shouldn't drive justice, man.
I'm bored.
Dude, I don't think you really need to do this right now. I'm gonna keep washing these dishes.
Sam Butler, if you do not go over there,
Dude, I'm gonna get
and
so
kick the
fired.
shit out of that man.
I'm not gonna put on the suit. I'm not putting on the suit.
You're not putting on the suit?
No.
I saved your life. You were nothing but a corpse before meeting me.
What?
You were nothing but a corpse
I'm
before
still
meeting
breathing.
me.
I think I could have called 911 and made it.
No, you were in the middle of the desert.
Khonshu, no.
No.
Dude, no.
Do you know what it'll mean if you say no?
It means this guy will get arrested and everything will be fine.
Arrested.
Yes.
You think the police will do anything
They've
about
been
this?
called. They're on their way.
Did you call them?
No, somebody else did.
So you were passive in a situation of need.
I was told not to do anything, and I'm going to keep my job.
I mean, that's the thing.
When I clock out, go right ahead. I'll put on the suit, but when I clock, it's got to be when I clock out.
Clearly, the gods of Egypt have had to adapt to modern day society.
Right.
So I think Khonshu would be like, it's true. He needs a source of income.
And I don't have a split personality.
Yeah.
Like, Steven is the source of income for Mark. Mark doesn't have a job. Mark's a bum.
Idiot in charge.
The idiot's is back.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I think you and Khonshu.
get out of here, worm.
I think you and Khonshu would get along great.
I feel like after a while, he'd just be like, God damn it. Like, I'm not going to win with this guy.
How would you and Khonshu hang out?
I don't know. Oh, well, this writing and editing and watching TV, this is boring.
Just sitting on the
Getting
couch.
drunk again? Oh my God, get out and live, man. Dude, find something to do. I dare you. I'm gonna take over this body. You find something for me to do. We'll do it.
We'll do it.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm not from Denver. You should know all the things.
I'm from Littleton.
The same thing.
It's called Little Fun for a reason. Not a lot to do around here.
What were you doing in Egypt in the first place?
You know, me and my buddy Jack, we were out there on a trip for, this trip we wanted to do because we love the gods and everything. And who would have guessed that I'd run into you? You know, never thought that would happen.
Yeah, neither would I.
Yeah, we were going from Greece. We were going to go to Egypt, and then to cool down, we were going to go to Norway, then skip over the North Pole back to the U.S. You know, that's the trip.
I thought your mind was broken. Turns out it's just dull.
It's very dull. I gotta say, it's very dull.
You know, it's not fun to insult you when you just accept it.
I mean, I love it, though.
God. Release me.
Nah.
Release me.
Nah, because I can't die. I like it.
Release me from your servitude.
No. You're not my servitude.
Is that what it is? I'm trying to say it the opposite way.
Release me from my your
your
servitude to me. Free me from our contract and your employment to me.
Quit! Put in your 2 weeks! Quit now!
You get Khonshu to ask you to put your 2 weeks in.
I am asking you to resign! Like, I will not.
You are not fit midnight material.
You're going to have to get the gods together and give me a true vote of no confidence. And I think the other gods are going to side with me. Because I'm a little bit more responsible with
I
the
keep
Khonshu.
you out of
I
the
keep
stuff.
you in check. This was a huge mistake. I gave you life, and I want to take it away. It's like, hey, dude, I did not ask you to.
Forget putting Khonshu in stone. Put him in an apathetic avatar.
Yeah. Stick him in Sammy B. And Khonshu is he's driven mad because at least in stone he's like,
You just bide my time.
meditative. Eventually maybe they'll just be like, all right, what did we put him in stone for? Turning back the night. I think that was a little harsh.
Yeah, I think we went a little far there.
He can come back out. Because, I mean, I feel like they should have put him in stone for moon knighting way more than turning back time.
That's what I was saying.
Moon knighting at all. Like, killing people.
Killing
a lot of people.
Thousands
versus
of years.
just making people go, what the fuck? Making them go, what is going on up there?
Oh, my God. Mess with this guy again, and we'll imprison you.
That's also something that I wondered is like with at the very end of Eternals where Arishem just goes zooming up to Earth. Like his head is hanging out over the UK. And you just think about where the rest of his torso is. It's like his dick's got to be over Africa. Like people are looking up. It's like, what's up with that? What's up with that? Like, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't have a dong a flopping out in space like that, but like just the crotch alone just being like that. Somebody just like, looking at his knee and they're just like, what's going on up there, dude? Ever since these Avengers started showing up, man, getting pretty sick of the shit. Because you think about it, really not a lot happened. Not a lot happened that was wild.
No.
Until like Captain Marvel, but even that was like kind of in secret.
Right.
Like that whole thing took place on a space station.
It was all just history.
So really, Tony Stark blabs his mouth, and
I am Iron Man. The world is ruined.
the whole world from then on is a ruin.
Forget Ultron.
All weird shit all the time. It is just weird as fuck for everyone.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be any fun to live in that world without superpowers. It would be constantly stressful.
Like, that's the thing that I think is going to annoy me the most about Ms. Marvel is that Kamala Khan is a superhero fan who gets superpowers. It's like, fuck you. You're living out every Comic-Con nerd's dream right now. And every single one of them is going to be looking at her. I mean, even...
It's like an open mic.
Like, even Peter Parker... Yeah, exactly. It's like an open mic just being like, it should be me up
all
there.
these comic nerds judging this character.
You don't know. You don't know your stuff.
You don't even know what you would have done.
If that were me up there, I'd be killing. I'd be killing it.
Killing him.
God.
I'd be smashing him.
Ugh. Fucking Kamala Khan, too. Like, she's like annoying. She's like a total spaz. I'm not a spaz.
Gotta love nerds.
Gotta love nerds. I mean, I'm the Bumblebee man. I can be satisfied with that. Mm-hmm. You gotta just make that a reality.
That's right. We're working on it. We got the
That's the
technology
dream.
and work.
We get the Bumblebee man actually functional. Like, I want to be a real vigilante.
It's my goal, too.
I want to be breaking the law in a Bumblebee costume. And then have a way to cover it up. Like, it must just be a rogue fan, dude.
That's right.
He's like a DMT fanatic. It's not me. I have good alibis.
It's true. I mean, you're on camera twice a week. Why would you?
I'm on camera twice a week. Why would I?
Exactly.
Why would I exact justice and revenge upon the Denver metro area?
What else, Sammy? What else about Moon Knight?
Well, episode 4.
Layla's costume was phenomenal.
Yeah, the Scarlet Scarab costume.
Incredible.
She looked really cool as fuck.
Do more with her.
However, the thing that kind of pissed me off about that was like, Mark's moon ring, not a batarang, it's a moon ring.
It's moon ring.
Got deflected into her wing, and it pinned her to the car, and then he turns into Jake and kills the fuck out of all those people. And then she's like, what the hell was that? And then just chink. What?
Why didn't you do that?
Why didn't you start doing that? Why didn't you do that from the start?
Yeah.
From the very instant that hit you, just be like, oh, jeez, ting, get back in the fight. Mark wouldn't have had to turn into Jake.
It's true.
He would have had just enough backup to be able to stick out that fight. But no, she waited. Yeah. She waited.
She did.
And that opened the door a little bit for Jake. And then Khonshu's like, who was this? Who was in the sarcophagus in that asylum?
I'm telling you, man.
Bust him out.
Khonshu knows Jake well.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what their history is. Because Jake only showed up, the one time when they were chasing the people on the rooftop, where Mark was trying to, and Steven was like trying to go home.
And in Amsterdam.
And in Amsterdam, what happened?
When Steven blacks out, and then there's all the dead people, he has the blood on his hands.
I thought that was Mark.
I think it's Jake because I don't think
You
Mark,
think that it's Steven's stress ball?
I don't think Mark kills people like that. I think Mark like kills one person for Khonshu and stuff. He doesn't like kill 6 people in one go. I think that's Jake all the way. But that's just my guess. I don't know. That's the beauty of this show. We don't know.
That's the thing. Is like Mark, even though when he is Moon Knight, he fucks people up. He takes a lot of hits, dude. He takes a lot. And I did see something funny, a little trivia thing where it was like, before Black Widow ruined the character, the Taskmaster, his whole thing was being able to copy fight styles and use that and everything. And I mean, I guess they did that in that movie, but also they removed the complete personality and switched genders and fucking ruined that character. Like, that is the fact of the matter. They ruined Taskmaster in that movie.
People are mad.
They gave him the Deadpool in X-Men Origins treatment.
Yes, it's true.
You know?
It's true.
Where it's just like, yeah, let's remove all of the charisma of this character and make him actually mute.
Yeah.
And a tool. Like, come on now. But it said that Taskmaster, of all the people that he's, stolen fighting styles of, he's like, I don't use Moon Knights because Moon Knight would rather take a punch than deflect it.
Sure.
So it's like he'll just take it and he's like, I'm gonna be surviving this outcome.
Right. Well, he's Batman with Wolverine's healing ability.
Basically, yeah. He's got a God's healing ability.
Like when he's getting stabbed by all those spears and stuff like that, I was like, oh damn. Oh,
Yeah.
Like he really that's his power.
It's like, who would have thought that we'd see a freaking superhero getting speared like he was a bull in Pamplona,
Getting pinned to the ground.
Also, they made a big deal about that guy, the art trader guy.
Oh, yeah.
That Layla was like familiar with. And I know the actor is dead, but the way they set him up, I know he is a villain, but he doesn't do like hardly anything after that episode. He just gets a moon ring and runs away.
Oh, he gets speared. Mark throws a spear into his back.
I thought he threw the moon ring at him.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry,
He just rode away.
Oh, I thought they killed him. But
If they did, then I
was like, that's kind of fucked up. But
yeah.
He passed away, and then you kill him in the show. And it's
Well,
efficient,
I mean, they
but-
might have reshot that then.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't
know.
recall that. I
I mean,
just thought that he rode off.
He definitely
and didn't show back
I don't
up
think
later.
It's going to be a part of it. Yeah, so
Because he is a villain. I don't remember what he is in the Moon Knight.
it's like
thing.
Midnight Man or something.
Midnight Man, maybe.
Something along those lines. But
Yeah, Midnight Man. I've Googled that before.
10 out of 10, dude.
10 out of 10sies.
100.
I fucking loved this
it.
show.
Gonna rewatch it many
It was
times.
perfect all the way through. I felt the pacing was awesome. It didn't stall out. Like, even when he was stripped of Khonshu for 2 episodes, I felt like it was very, very important that it happened that way. Because, most people, it would have felt like the Mandalorian episodes where it's like, is this really Boba Fett show?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
what now?
Exactly.
But no, it's like it's still Mark's show.
Totally.
Mark and Steven. And I thought it was just like so heartwarming that it was like, you're my new brother.
Yep.
Steven is my brother, but he's in my head.
When they connected,
And
it was
so,
beautiful.
Like at the end where they're flipping back and forth amicably and everything, I found that to be very beautiful, but it was like, yeah, we're brothers now.
Every day I wake up
And I start to break up, lonely as a man without love.
What if you woke up to that every day, Sam?
I set that as an alarm.
Did you?
That is one alarm that I have.
That's awesome.
I set the Marvel fanfare as another one because I'm like, imagine starting your day out that way. And it's actually a pretty good way to start
Is
your
it?
day. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Every day I start out, then I cry my heart out, lonely as a man without love. It's Engelbert Humperdinck, people.
And then you turn into me. And then I kill a bunch of people for Khonshu. That's how it goes.
That's how it
folks.
goes, huh?
I gotta go.
That's what I say when I
Yeah.
go out at
That
night.
does it. That does it for another episode of
To
DMT
slay people in
Reviews.
the name of vengeance.
Yeah, you do that. That's where you're off to right now. That's where you're rushing to get out of this episode.
I don't want to.
I know, but you have to go be the fist of justice. I understand. Yeah, thanks for listening this week. Check out a new episode of DMT. Don't miss this podcast this Thursday. Go check out DMT Table Reads. Go check out the Color Plaid Comedy, DMT Studios. I'm sorry I've been a little bit lazy with the editing. It's just hard. It's hard to keep on top of it with how much shit I have going on right now. But I'm trying my best, keeping up with it, and I need to cut more promos and have more fun with it. But otherwise, I think you guys can just go ahead and rate, and review. Keep the show growing. I know it's not nearly as successful as DMT does this podcast, because not everybody watches everything that we review. But if you enjoy it, thanks for listening. Because take it sleazy, make it cheesy.
Love you guys.
I didn't have enough stuff to get to the Joe Rogan bit.
No, I know. I get you. I liked it though. We got another pickup. We're gonna cruise to the end of this song here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna take you through the jams of flow. No, is it Zen?
Zen.
Of Zen. The copyright-free music that ends the show. DMT Don't Miss This Podcast and DMT Reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to Moon Knight. If you haven't seen it, what the hell are you doing all the way to the end of this episode? This is insanity. Go watch the whole show right now. Give up 6 hours of your day. Do it, or Amit will find you. Your scales are not balanced if you have not seen the show. Yeah, exactly.
She'll eat your heart.
True to the myths.
True to the myths.
True to the myths.
Jack, I feel like your heart would be too heavy for the feather and you'd be in the duat.
Probably. Mostly just
I think
filled
most
with caffeine.
people are.
Yeah.
Man, it's caffeine that's going
My
to
heart's
send you
just
to the duat.
filled with just excess caffeine. It's like, why is it so heavy? It's not even evil. It's like liquid. I mean, it's not blood. Like, it's like a water balloon.
What the hell?
These are usually like marble. This is strange.
Hardcore DMT. When you do DMT, you see that.
Laters, gators.